Hello, everyone, and welcome to Be Bold, Fierce, Unstoppable. I'm your host, Zach Lyotis. And in today's podcast, we have the beautiful Martha Mook, who guides women who have had similar experience as she did, being in an abusive marriage, bullied at school from a young age, and sexually molested by someone she knew and trusted. Martha is known as a super confidence coach, international motivational speaker, author, multi-business owner, entrepreneur, multi-award winning international makeup artist, and hairstylist. She coaches in areas of life, business, self-worth, and relationships. Using her knowledge and personal experiences, she empowers others to improve their life situation to achieve happiness by unlocking their potential from within. Welcome, Martha, to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
It is such a pleasure to have you on the show, considering you're living in the future, as I call all my Australian friends. And I always say, "Oh, you guys are all living in the future," and so I always laugh about that. So thank you for being on here today, taking the time out of your most important sleep to share your wisdom and knowledge with us today.
Oh, definitely it's worth it. I'm someone who has been in silence for over 30 years. When I reclaim my voice, I just wanted to share to everyone, to let everyone knows that despite whatever happened in their colorful past, it doesn't define who they are.
How true. That's very true. I know once I came out of my silence, I spoke up, but then I continued to kind of hold back as much as I wanted to give. I just kind of was, I was held back by the stigma more than anything. And then I just exploded. I didn't care after a while. I was like, no, no, no. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks of you. It matters what you think of yourself. And that's why we're here today, because I had to go through the obstacles and the tripping and all that stuff in order to bring light, to bring wisdom, awareness to everyone else is going through what we went through in our past. So let's go back to the abusive marriage and relationships, because I had someone on my podcast previously and she talked about being in an abusive relationship. And I think she did it for about 15 years until she found her power and her strength to walk out of that marriage. So how long were you in abusive marriage for?
I was in the marriage for 19 years. I got married when I was 21,
Mhm.
first love, and I thought that because of my experience as a child in the bullying, I was desperate for love. So the first guy that I met, 2.5 months, I decided to let's get married. Then let's do it. And because marriage is a commitment, and I'm that kind of woman that don't want to give up until the very end. And you try your best to work things out, trying to understand what's going on with the other person. And on the same time, you need to find your calling and find yourself again. Despite everything that going on at home, I became a successful makeup artist that I travel over the world. I have multiple businesses in there. So I have this mask on the outside that people think I was very confident, I was out there, I was smiling, I was positive. They have this really, I had put on, I keep telling people now that I was the greatest pretender. No one knows about my story for all this time until the day that I decided on my 40th birthday. I was so depressed on that time. I only wanted to live up to 60 years old. I said my life will be enough. I have learned enough. 60 will be a good day to go. And I said, okay, I only got 20 years left in my life. What do I truly want? And I want to be happy and joyful. And I want someone who will support me, celebrate with me, and enjoy life together so we can grow together as we do. Because when I got more successful in my career, my relationship went downhill. He become even more abusive and more violent and more cold shoulders and become all the narcissistic feelings starting to come in and controlling. And at that time, I just brushed it off. I thought, you know what? I have my career. I'm constantly not at home. I feel great about traveling on my own. I don't need him. But I was too scared to be alone. I
Mm.
was too scared that I would come home one day, that there was no one there. Even I hardly see him at home. At least that I am married. I got someone on my back, so I'm not a total loser, right? Wrong. I didn't know that I didn't learn to love myself. I didn't know what self-love is because I still remember when people said to me, you need to have more self-love. And I say, F off, because I live well, I eat well, I dress well. What is the part that you think I wasn't loving myself? That was all my reply. I didn't know loving myself is about enjoying what I have on the inside, finding that sense of belonging within me. It took me 3 years to find that. Now that I'm with my new partner, he celebrates me. He enjoy our time together. He's a Navy, so he has to go away all the time. But it doesn't reduce our connection. We love each other. We connect with each other at so many levels. And that is where all the transformations starting to come. He was the person who encouraged me to step into the coaching world, to become the super confident coach I am today. So I'm grateful and I appreciate his power. And when he injected that with me, that we become unstoppable.
That's incredible. What a story. So you didn't really look at your relationship because you were always traveling, you were always away. So you didn't have that much time with your partner at the time, your husband. But when you got
Mm.
home, that's when the abuse started and that's when it got worse. And I know that when women become more successful, men do get more abusive because it's almost like you become superior to them and they don't like that because it brings them down. It shrinks their masculinity. So they find that abuse, they find that anger within them to make them feel that masculine energy. So, how did you get away from your marriage at that time?
I was at a point that I feel so not happy, and I keep asking him the question, why are you doing this to me? Like, why we can't be happy? And he said that because you're worthless, you
Mm.
don't mean anything to me. And I'm like, that stick onto me so badly that I feel like I was the problem. I was the problem that I wasn't a good enough wife. I wasn't a good enough for him. So I work even harder being a fighter. I try to be an even better person. But no matter what I do, the abuse just got worse and worse and worse. We live together in the same house, haven't shared the same bed for 4 years before I say enough is enough. And that was the final straw when he kept telling me that I was worthless. And I'm like, F off. I pay for all the bills in the house and you just need to sit there and I'm like, and then I'm being told that I'm worthless. No matter what I do around the house, there was chucking glass everywhere, threatening me all the time. And I'm like, why am I going to put myself through this? I deserve better. I deserve more than that. So that's when my birthday comes up. I'm like, no, this is enough. I need to move on and find a better life. And I finally took the courage and say, no, this is enough. I really need to get away from you. And I did. And I'm grateful for the people who helped me at that time because he took all my money away when we were at the end of the marriage. I even gave him my car because I know he got nowhere. So I gave him the car that I have. I got a new car myself and I have to rebuild my life again. And I was left with hardly anything. I couldn't even pay for the bond for the new apartment that I need to move to. And thank God that was my friend's place that from we moved from a three-bedroom apartment going into a one-bedroom, very small unit. And I'm like, I don't mind. Just give me a space that me and my cat can stay together. And that was all I was looking for. And I believe that as long as you're willing to surrender,
Mm.
surrender to the situation that you're in and believe in the universe bringing you what you need. And it did. It gave me more jobs so I can pay for the bills. It gave me more opportunities of meeting different people, opening my network. As long as we're willing to surrender to the to what happened to us, but not in a negative form, in a
Mhm.
way that's saying that is it good or bad? I don't know. But I know at this moment I'm granted. I'm granted within me that I know good things will come. And by having that mentality, good things will follow.
Amen to that. Amen to that. It's so true. So how did you find the courage to walk away? So you now realize, no, I deserve something more than this. And now you had to pick up and go. And I know a lot of narcissists. I actually had Dr. Schaller on the show, and she talks about narcissistic relationships as well. She calls them a different name. And we talk about this. We've talked about this on the old podcast as well. It's always about being prepared before you leave a narcissistic relationship. But what did you do? Because he already took your money from the sounds of it. So what courage did you find to walk away? What were your first steps?
I have to stash money with my friends. I have to start saving money and putting cash under maybe the car carpet, putting under shoes, and then giving it to my friend and say, keep it for me just in case. I move some of the like important things like documents and things like that to my friends say, so just in case, all I have to do is just grab my cat and then I can go. I have a spare overnight bag with a few underwears and a few essential in my car all the time, making sure that if the violence does come again, that I can just jump onto the car and go. So that was what I have to prepare myself for. Mentally, I tried so many years to get away from him, but I always got talked back and he said things will get better. And I keep telling myself at that time, because when his mom passed away, I made a promise that I will look after him in the best way that I can. And I have to give myself that forgiveness and say, you know what? I have done that for 19 years. I believe I have been the best that I can. Sometimes we do need to let them go. We need to give them the responsibility back and treat them as a human being with respect. I always say that despite our relationship, if it wasn't for him, I would never be the person I am today. So instead of holding a grudge, that pain, that feeling, I choose to let it go and to release it to the point that I say, I'm grateful for the opportunity that we have together. Recently, I was on another podcast. It's a long journey, 3 years after my divorce. I got this opportunity to share an open letter to my ex-husband, not just written it out. I have to record it in my own voice and record the whole thing. It was such a transformation. I was brave enough to talk about it. And hearing it back into the podcast, I was crying like a baby. And I can see my transformation. And I'm not saying that triggers won't come up, because it is a scar that is always going to be there. But I have learned to how to deal with those triggers, how to look into it instead of fear. How do I replace it with wisdom and gratitude? That's what pulled me through and prepare me from all these journeys that I have become the new person that I am today. That I'm grateful for all the experience that I have in life and to be turning me into the super confident woman I am today. That I'm truly confident, not just in my career, but I'm confident of being me. I'm loud, I'm bold, I'm authentic. Hi, that's Martha Mock, and I'm proud of it. And I am a confident mistake creator.
That's a beautiful thing. Yeah. And you should be confident, because when you go through things like this, you realize what you don't want to be. So confidence becomes that goal that you want to create within yourself. So that's amazing. That's amazing. So writing that letter and reading it out loud, you realize the transformation you've gone through, because that's such a powerful tool. And people don't realize that writing letters, I tell people, write letters to money, write letters to your
Mm,
ex, write letters to yourself, write letters. It's really important, because you're really just expressing yourself, and in that expression you do really get that opportunity to have that transformation, and you do get these triggers. But once you start healing the triggers and letting things go, like you said, the surrendering part of it,
mm,
it really becomes nothing after that. It's just the layers of the onion will always come out, but it's that thin layer that gives you the most suffering. Always the one that you can't see. It's the most transparent layer. That's the one that's going to make you cry the most. So what does
mm.
self-worth mean to you today?
Self-worth means to me that I'm worth, I'm worthy. I'm worthy with what the universe will give to me. I'm worthy of every effort, everything that I give to myself, then I deserve them. A lot of women feel like that, oh, really? I deserve this? How do I remember that I was doing a family photo shoot with my new partner and my family. And then when I was putting makeup on, my hands started to shake. My tears started to roll out of my eyes. And my partner asked me, "Are you okay? What's going on?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm feeling really emotional." In my heart, I'm so excited because I always wanted to have a family shot with everyone, that we're laughing, we're happy, we got 3 generations together. And I got my amazing new partner with me. Like, that's just so beautiful. Why am I so scared? Why am I crying? And in the car, it gave me some time to think. And he asked me again, "So what's going on?" And I said, "I don't feel I'm worthy of this happiness."
Mm.
And he said to me one sentence. He didn't say, "Baby, you're okay. Baby, I love you." Nothing like that. What he said to me was, "Go and read the 4 books that you've written." And then I immediately smile and say, "Yeah, you're right. What the F did I telling myself? What BS did I put into my head? You're right." That was my switch to come out of it. And I have the most amazing time at the photo shoot. That's
That's
what I say, that
amazing.
as a woman, we have that creepy feeling, feeling that worthiness in that. Like, who the hell am I to receive this happiness? This beautiful man, this beautiful family that I have. They're so supportive, they're so loving to each other. And I'm like, who the hell am I? And I'm like, no, look at the books I have written. It's all about like thriving in my thing. Doesn't matter. Action is proof. I am successful, and allow myself to say, "Martha, you did a good job." And then I was like, "Yeah, okay, I am kick ass. I am good." And that is like a muscle memories that you need to train yourself on, and give yourself that forgiveness. If sometimes you have a hiccup, it's okay. Cry about it if you need to. Afterward, feel that I am worthy. Believe that I am beautiful. I'm important. And then one sentence that is stick with me to my life when I went to trauma therapy is that she said, "I matter." And that is my new idol, that I matter. I
Amen.
matter to me. I matter to the world. I matter to the people I'm going to meet. So I need to treasure myself. Someone recently asked me that, what do I believe in now? I said, I believe that I have found my sense of belonging with
Mm.
me, that I feel amazing as just who I am right now.
You do matter and you are kick ass and you definitely are bold, fierce, and unstoppable. So just keep on going. No one should stop you or no one should tell you anything different. So this is
Exactly.
beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So for every woman that's going through this little transitional phase like you went through, that's in an abusive relationship, what would you tell those women today?
Ask for help. I was too proud, too ashamed, and too scared to ask for help. I didn't know there's so many supports out there. I didn't know there's coaches out there that who can help me. I didn't know there was women support group on Facebook that I can join and get help on. I didn't know. I was in my own narrow lane thinking that I'm tough enough to face it. I'm tough enough to face everything. Yeah, all that bullshit, I'll be able to brush it off and then wake up another day, just fight for another day. I didn't know there was help out there. So if there's one advice that I can share, ask. All you have to do is to ask for help. Ask the universe to give you help. Ask someone that you trust to give you help. Reach out to other people and the help will come. When I first shared my story, I was so scared. I was scared that people were like, "Oh, really? Oh, she's been like that. Oh." I was so scared at what other people's judgment, because I was this very successful entrepreneur that everyone respected me in my industry. No, I have to view and understand the power of vulnerability. So when I drip feeded everything out, people's reactions to me, and I just feel so supported. And those one who doesn't support you, there's a button called unfriend and delete and block. So they're very, very good to use. You don't have to worry about it anymore because they don't deserve to be in your circle. So focus on those people who love you, support you. They are so many of them, and they're much more than that one message, one comment that makes you feel bad. Always believe in it and shift your focus into the positive thing. And remember, it's not about taking a bungee jump. It's not about a skydiving. It's only about a 3 millimeter shift every single day.
Mhm.
Yes, it took me a long time to make that 3 millimeter shift to start changing my life. But I'm so grateful that I did the first 3 millimeters, because without that, I will never be who I am right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, I would say it's just one breath at a time. You can't take 10 breaths at a time. You can only take one breath at a time. So I say it's one breath at a time. But I'm laughing at the, there's the unfriend, there's the delete, there's this, because I went through an unfriending and deleting rampage last year. So that's why I'm laughing, because it really does give you this liberation and inner freedom to just kind of let go of everything that doesn't serve you and give yourself that opportunity to, I say, recreate yourself,
Mm.
whichever way that you want to recreate yourself. So that's beautiful, because what you did even after your marriage is that you found a way to recreate yourself, to find that badass that you are, to
Mm.
recognize the worth that you are, to set up that confidence. So I really like that. Delete everyone if you have to. Okay.
Exactly.
That's
Open a new page. They don't deserve into your
yeah.
circle. Your world is so much bigger than you ever imagined. All you have to do is to ask that question, how does it get better than this? And then you can look into your goal with excitement. A lot of us look at our goal the other way. So we're constantly facing our trouble and a problem and try to run away from it towards our goal. So every single step you take feels like a trauma. It feels like that you're not good enough. But if you look at it the other way and say, my God, this is Disneyland, I'm going there tomorrow, the excitement will come. It will help you to get into the goal with every single step as an achievement. And
Yeah.
that's the difference it will make. Don't look at your problem and start running away from it. Start looking at your goal like you're going to Disneyland, with excitement, with achievement, that every single things that you do is a pat on the shoulder. Good job.
I love it. I love it. Like Disneyland. I love Disneyland when I went there. I was there with 5 children and I was the sixth child. I was the nanny. And I would tell the kids, go wait there, go wait there, go wait there, go wait. We got to take pictures with every character before we leave this area. So yes, do it like you're going to Disneyland. Bring that inner child excitement out. Now you went
Mm.
through sexual trauma, sexual molestation, and it came from someone that you trusted. And this could shift a lot people when you go through such a traumatic situation, especially with someone you trust. How did you deal with trust issues after that situation?
When it happened to me, because I was so young, I didn't know what was going on. I thought it was just caring and love. I didn't know that it was inappropriate. I didn't know that until I got older. Starting to feel like that. How come I got this weird sexual energy in me that I don't know, and it feels weird about things. And then I finally realized, hey, it was because of experience that I have, that I didn't find that balance into it. So I started to learn about how to express myself. Sexual energy is a natural thing in our body.
Mhm,
It is part of our aura. It is part of our chakra. So
mhm,
when we understand that we can use that sexual energies to increase our intuition, that is the big difference of it. So a lot of women are worried about, oh, like, I need to look a certain way. I'm a makeup artist, okay? So the woman who is sitting in front of me are the most insecure person you will ever find, because the person sitting in front of me will only tell me, I don't like my eyes, my nose is too big, my face is too big. I
mhm.
will never hear them say, I got amazing skin, please show off my skin or show off my eyes or anything like that. They don't. None of the women that I have worked with in 16 years have told me, I look amazing myself already. I don't really need you, but if you want to glamorize me, okay. Never have met one like that. So I can
I'm
understand
that
the
person.
high five girl.
I'm that person. I said, oh my God, I have a makeup artist I'm interviewing right now, and I don't even know how to put makeup on. Thank God I know how to put my hair on, because that's the only
And
thing
it's
I need.
fine.
And
And
I'm
it's
fine with
fine.
it because I look good.
Exactly. And you look good. I always believe that we have our own uniqueness. We have our own way. And makeup is just a tool. You can put a lot, you can put less, but what is a lot and not less? It's about how you feel enough on the inside. So for me, as a makeup artist, I can see that insecurity. So I say, no, I don't want that. And learning about your sexuality, feeling that I say, I like to be sexy. I like to be special. My ex-husband will like let me to wear things up to here. He will never, I got huge boobs. And then it's very hard for me to hide my cleavage. But still, he will never appreciate me when I wear something a tiny little bit lower, then he will already complain. He won't allow me. Anything that you will allow, he will already complain. So I have with my new partner, he celebrate me. And I was like, wow, I can wear this dress. And I was like, first, like, try to cover everything. And then he just say, you look amazing, you look great. So he gave me that confidence back because yes, it's true. As women, we do like to hear validation.
Yeah.
So even we think that we're beautiful, still when someone tell you that, hey, baby, you look hot, you immediately feel a lot better. So, and then you just build up that sexual energy inside of you and turn it into a power. Turn that power within you because it's sexy. What is more sexy than of confidence? There's nothing more sexy than confidence. With a woman with clothes or without clothes, that if you're hiding yourself, that's not attractive. What is the most attractive part is when you embrace yourself. So whatever happened to you is something that you cannot control. It is in the past. So do I let that past control me? Do I still feed the energy into the people who hurt me and they take control over me?
Mhm.
Or did I say, stop, this is my current situation. I cannot control my past and I'm not controlling the future because it hasn't happened. What I can do is completely control and what I'm happening in this moment. So I have the choice to choose to take the power back. And I always learn something now to say to myself when I'm in a little bit of self-doubt and I'm like, oh, got a little bit of a belly roll, like I'm developing a cinnamon roll again, been COVID, I've been in lockdown, all that kind of stuff. So the cinnamon roll is going up. And then I say, you know what? I can give the fear to the people who used to judge me. I give them the power to control me. Or I decide to take the power back and say, I'm more powerful than the people who once hurt me. So I'm embracing that and putting my power into me. May have to say it a few times, especially when the cinnamon roll get bigger. But still, you know what? Oh, good. I say it enough, then you're starting to believe it.
Then you start eating a cinnamon roll.
Yeah, there you go.
I've never heard anyone call it a cinnamon roll. That's why I'm laughing. It's just so funny.
I
Oh,
love food, so I just call all these food term. I just love it.
wow, you and me too. I love food. I wake up in the morning thinking, what am I going to eat today? Let me put some peanuts
Cinnamon
in
roll.
my mouth beforehand. Let me just think about this for a second. So I do love food. And I do love what you just said there, that I don't allow people to control my past because I can't control my past. And I don't
Mm,
allow those to take my power that did me bad in the past. And listen, I'm the person that held on to the past for many, 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 many years. And I've allowed those
mhm,
people to take that power until
mm,
literally I was like, you know what am I doing here? This is not what I teach. I don't teach this. So why am I doing this? So
mm,
it's interesting when we take back our power, you become so much more empowered. And when Martha
mm,
and I are speaking about power, not talking about like power as in strength, we're talking about power as energetic frequency. We're talking about taking back the truth of who you are and not allowing other people to rob you from your identity, your inner being. It's not about
mm.
punching people as much as sometimes I do want to do that too, but it's okay. That's just my inner self fighting my own inner demons, right? It really comes from the inside of us. When we're taking back our power, we're taking back what we freely gave to someone else or
Mm,
someone took away from us. Because Martha
mm.
went through this from a young age and didn't realize until later on. So that's a beautiful lesson that you mentioned about you can't change your past and you can't allow other people to take your power from your past because you can't change your past. You can learn from your past. So what are some
Mm.
great lessons that you learned from your past that you live in today?
I went through a stage earlier this year that my cat for 16 years. She's my only thing that mattered to me. In the 19 years abusive marriage that I have, I don't have kids because I was too scared to have a kid with him. So I have a cat and she's absolutely beautiful. And she passed away early in the year. And I went for 3 months of depression. And what makes it worse is my ex-husband sent me a text message and tell me that I'm the worst person alive and he blamed me for my cat's death.
Mm.
And I'm like, wow, what a wonderful human being he is. Great. That day my phone was on and I give it to my partner and say, can you just block this number? Because I don't want to see that number ever again. Because I've been blocking him for almost over 2 years. I don't want him to know anything about him because I need my time to recover and to feel. Not like that I'm hating. I don't. It's that I know I'm a natural carer. So I don't want to give that care to him because I don't want to give him any more power over me. That was the reason. So during that time, I went to do my mastery in NLP. And we're going in for NLP is new linguistic programming. It helps to change your belief. And I went for the process called timeline therapy. It took me back to the moment where I first experienced fear. I thought I was having so much fear with my ex-husband that when his name is mentioned, that starting to feel this really uncomfortable feeling.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, with the timeline therapy, it taught me where that fear come from, and it wasn't my ex-husband. It was an image that my father, I maybe was 3 or 4 years old. I did something wrong, and he used a knife to stab on me. And
Ooh.
my hand still got the mark to show it. And all I remember was my vein was green and blue, and my blood was dark red. And that was the first time I experienced fear in my life. And the person who did this journey with me and asked me a question. So, what is the positive learning you got from that? And I'm like, F off, A, B, C, D, E. Are you really kidding me? Someone is stepping me and I have to find a positive learning from it. Are you crazy? And then I'm like, okay, I need to go through the process. Okay, so what did I learn? I start saying things. I'm a good person. We got a good relationship now. I don't hold a grudge about him. Blah 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 blah. The last sentence that I said was, "I'm in control now." That
Mhm.
was the snappy moment, and I'm like, my God, I am in control of what I'm thinking. I can't control what happened. I can't save that little girl now. No matter how much I want to save her, I can't jump back into the future. I can do it like mentally, but I can't physically go and save her. So what can I do? I can control what's going on with me. And after that timeline therapy session, I immediately texted my partner and said, baby, I'm back. I was living like a zombie for the last 3 months, going through grief, going through trauma, going through everything episode that happened. And then I say I was not in control. And I finally find my control back. I know I can't control the past. I can't control the future because I don't have a crystal ball. But what I can control is what I'm feeling inside, what I'm doing right this moment. And I have a choice of not giving the power to the people who hurt me. And I took that power back. I remember when I was going through trauma therapy, I used to say to my therapist, love means pain,
Mm.
and you must go through pain before you have find love. That was my understanding.
Mhm.
And one of my in my journey of searching for love, I met a guy that I completely broke my heart, and I said that when he left, he took my light, my hope, and my smile away. And in that moment, I didn't know that I gave that away. I allowed that to taken away from me. So until that I realized I'm in control, I take all the power back that I used to given and use gratitude instead. Instead of hate, instead of anger, I started to say something like, I'm grateful for the experience. Thank you for the learning and thank you for the teaching. And you change it into gratitude, and that gives me such more powerful empowerment into me. It's like a switch. When you change anger, scare, fear into gratitude, everything's starting to change. At first it will be hard. It will be hard. Like, really, like, someone did that to you and you can still be grateful about. Are you, like, mentally insane? I was like, It feels hard at first, but the more you do it, the better you will get." I make as myself a thing that I have to say three grateful stuff that I have that day. It could be something that I'm grateful that my partner has gone through. It could be something I'm grateful with what I've experienced through. And what I notice is the more I do that, I find more gratefulness in my hand and I see more happiness because everyone holds two keys in their hand: key of sadness, key of happiness. When we choose to open more door of sadness, everything is not right. Everything is not correct. Everything is not going my way. But if I hold the key of happiness and start opening door, I will see a lot more opportunity. I will see gratefulness. I will see opportunity. And that's what I can choose. I choose to hold the hand of in the key of happiness and let myself see more happy things around me. It's just like yesterday we have an earthquake in Melbourne, in Australia, and I was like, we were all freaking out and everything. And then afterward, my partner was away, and I didn't speak to him for 2 days because of the internet. And then he finally was able to text me like in a time that I was on my break, like the universe bring you things that you need. And I was like, oh, I'm worried about your parent. They're in regional Melbourne. Like, but I don't have their number. I only have your mom's Facebook. And then he said, oh, this is a number. I said, do you think it's too much if I like, asking them how are they doing? He said, no. I said, okay. I called her mom and then didn't pick up, was a bit worried. I said, you know what? I'm going to try the land number. And I called his dad. It's the first time I've spoken to his dad. And we just had a great 15 minutes conversation about other stuff as well. And then his mom called back. And then it's like, they're okay as well. Grandma that is over 90 years old, she's okay as well. Everyone is okay. And I'm like, how amazing is this experience when I surrender to it?
Mhm.
I'm grateful that this happened, allow me to connect with his family. We haven't met yet because of COVID. We
Oh, wow.
can't go and visit them. Like all the borders are shut that we can't visit them. And it's like, wow, how amazing is that the first time I talked to your father, the first time that I talked to this, like, experience with them. And I'm grateful that they're safe. I'm grateful that you were able to give me their number. I haven't spoken to you for 2 days, and then after I haven't spoken to him today again because he's on a navy boat. So in the middle of the ocean, it's like good luck if we can find. But the universe always bring me what you need, and then today there's more good things happen. There's so many great things that happen once you're starting to allow it in, to surrender to it, to be grateful about everything. And even on a very bad day, I've been having a very bad day for the last 2 days because of something that happened. But I still said, you know what? I will still do my gratitude exercise. And I
Mhm.
still write down my gratitude. And look at me today. I got so many grateful things that just happened to me today that I did not even expect. And I'm like, wow, the world is such a better place. And it's just because of starting to change all the energy into gratitude.
Yeah.
And it really helps you to understand that you hold the power in that key of happiness. You can open the door with happiness and be grateful about everything that happened to you. And when you're more grateful and surrender to it, the universe will give you more. Always remember, we always get what we ask for. If you tell yourself that I'm not good at this, I can't do that, you will never be able to. But as long as you tell that I will try, I can do, I have done, completely different story.
So true. Oh my God, you said so many great things there, Martha. I don't know where I want to go to. You talked about control, you talked about choices, you spoke about surrender, you spoke about gratitude. I'm thinking about forgiveness. Where do we go? Martha just gave you guys the most incredible nuggets in her story. This is incredible. I want to talk about control and choices because I
Mm,
believe in order for us to have control of ourselves, not to have control of anyone else, you can't control anyone else. You could only control yourself. And that happens to the choices that we make.
mm,
So you've made the conscious choice to take back your power. You've made the conscious choice to delete or block your former husband from your phone because you don't want to deal with his energy frequency anymore. And I
mm,
could tell just by your energy and your vibration that you are that loving, caring human being that doesn't hold on to things. And
mm,
that you, I feel like if your former husband were to call you right now and say, I need your help, you would still go.
mm,
Yeah, I could actually feel that you're that person that, you know what, let the past be the past. This man still needs me. Because I had a client like that as well. Her husband was abusive and then he was dying and she was at his bedside. And I was like, why are you there? She's like, well, it's not like he's a bad person. And I go, he abused you. She goes, yeah, but you just can't think about that. And I was like, you just taught me something there, I said to her.
mm,
So it's all about really, really accepting yourself for who you are and
mm,
and having those choices that you want to make with yourself. And then he spoke about gratitude. I give gratitude every morning. I open
Mm,
up my eyes and I say, thank you for this day. Sometimes
mm,
when, spirit world wakes me up at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll open my eyes
mm.
and my eyes like, why now? Why now? I need to sleep. And they go,
Normally that's my cat.
yeah. Right? Why now? So gratitude is key, because the more grateful that you are, the more that you open up your eyes to see the beauty that the world is. And that's why when you give 3 things of gratitude, I used to do 7 things of gratitude and then multiply by 7. So by the end of the 5 days, if I did it for 5 days, I'd have to have 35 things of 35
Mm.
gratitude pieces by Friday. I have to write that all down. And what I did notice is that the more grateful I was, the more that things came to me. But right now, my gratitude every morning is thank you for giving me life, because really life is just a gift. It's not
Mm.
promised to us, it's really
Yep.
just a gift. And the more
Mm.
that you look at it as a gift, you start to recognize life so much more differently. And then you just let go of things off your chest much easier. Like you'd be like, oh,
Mm.
you're reaching, like this morning I had to return an email. I'm like, what are these people talking about? Like, am I speaking
Yeah.
in tongues right now? Like, what is really going on here? And I just kind of was putting LOL on everything because I was literally laughing. I said,
Mm.
I can't let this get into my day, because at the end of
Mhm.
the day, that means it's going to take my power away from me. And I'm not
Mhm.
allowing an email that totally doesn't make sense because it's putting words in mouth to take any of my power away. It's not
Yes.
who I am. Maybe the old me would have been like,
Yeah.
the new me is like, I don't have time for this. Let's just laugh through this one.
Exactly.
Right? Let's just laugh
Exactly.
through this one. So let's talk
I love it.
about forgiveness, because everything that you've spoken about was really about forgiveness. You forgave
Mm.
your former husband, you forgave your predator, you forgave your father for stabbing you, because I'm sure like you're like, F this, but okay, I have control, which means a bit of forgiveness as well.
Mm.
So what does forgiveness mean to you today?
Forgiveness, when I was going through a journey of understanding a relationship and men and all of that, I was very desperate into answering, oh, how do I actually find a really good partner and things like that. And all the relationship books that I have read, they said one thing, that you must learn to forgive, not just forgive that person, but forgive yourself. That
Mhm.
was like a wake up call to me, because I thought I need to forgive him for all the bad things that he does. No, not just that. I need to learn to forgive myself. And I was like, wow, I know that now. So if I done something wrong now, I just like, hey, I did that again. I burned a toast. Oh well, that happened. It's
Yeah.
okay. I try not to do it next time. And my current partner, he's so amazing. First time we went to a drag queen hotel for a dinner, for a show and dine dinner, and I dressed up really nicely, and then there was a lot of fun entertainment going on that night, and she's like kind of screaming, laughing so loud, and I was having the time of my life, and I look at him, he didn't yell at me. He
Mhm.
didn't stare at me in a bad way. He gave me the confidence to be me. That's what I said to him. I say, wow, when I'm with him, I find my sense of belonging next to him. It's
Mm.
because not that I belong to him, but because I belong to me, and he never put me down in any way. My ex-husband, if I speak a little tiny bit louder, he will give me that look. He will tell me, shut up. That's what he always do. And I never was able to be having my voice. So being able to dance at the table like that, that will never happen. And
Mm.
I did that night. And that night I did a really good post about it. I said, I feel like myself. For
Mhm.
all this year, 42, 43 years of my life, I have never been myself. I have never had this much fun, because I was able to be loud, to be bold, to be authentic. My God, I was feeling so amazing of myself. And I finally forgive myself for all the things that I have heard, all those labels that I've been putting myself. You're fat, you're ugly, you're worthless, you're loud, you're tongue. All that label, I ripped it all out that night and just let myself be, dance at the table, like shake around with my boobies out. Wonderful. That was just amazing, tremendous experience for me. For other people, it's just like, oh, she's just having a night out. For me, it was like I was getting out of jail, my own jail from within. The part that I locked myself in because others people's label on me,
Mhm.
their expectation, their belief, their value. Those things that had been put on me was ripped off on me that night, that I was able to be myself. I gained that control back. And I love talking about control because I also realized something. I'm a
Mhm,
natural carer.
mhm.
So I often do something like this. Eat this, it's very nice. Have it. I tell you, it's really lovely. Have it because I say it's really good for you. So what have I just done? I turn my care into control. I
Mhm.
keep telling people that I'm only controlling my life, but I didn't know that I was using my care as an excuse to control other people. So now, understanding that fine line between care and control, I finally realized what it means to be a caring person, but
Mm.
also a respectful person. I respect their belief and their value. Yes, if he doesn't want to wipe his hand, it's his own thing. But I still give him a wet tissue next to it. So if he wants to wipe his hand, yeah, that will be a good thing. But if he doesn't, I won't stare at him because he accept me for who I am. I need to accept him as well. Okay, I will wipe the oil on my face away later. Just that acceptance into it. And that's what made me feel like that forgiveness. Forgive him, forgive myself, giving myself the choice of having control or care. All of that was my journey of what I have learned so far. So forgive yourself for whatever you have done. Pull those labels that you've been told of and be yourself, because you will find the person that exists that allow you to be who you are. And I have found mine, and believe it, you will find yours too.
I'm so glad you found yourself because you're hilarious. I love you. I'm just saying to myself, I'm like, I love her. We need your energy in the world right now. We need this authenticness of you right now because at the end of the day, if you didn't come up and show up the way you are, that's not the way that God, grace, whatever you want to call higher power out there, that's not the way he wanted you to be on this earth. So you know what, you went through some tough journeys to recognize your truth and to recognize who you are. And I'm so grateful that I have this opportunity to talk to you because I am just having this awesome, like I have had this smile on my face just looking at you. I'm like, I just love her. Like you're just, there's so much
Thank you.
joy inside of you. And I could tell like you probably were holding all this in going, I can't be like this and I can't have this and I can't have that because, and I know that because I went through the same thing too.
Mm,
So it's like I'm looking in the mirror and and someone saying, why do you have to act like that? Why do you have to say that? Why
yeah.
be quiet? And then at one point you're just like, I don't care what you guys think. It's how I
Mhm,
feel. And that's what
mhm,
the beauty is. And that's what we're here today to share that light is to really
mhm.
express your truth. So what does authentically me mean to you? Being authentically you.
It's the fact that you can have a pimple, you have messy hair, you have no makeup on, and you can still do a Facebook Live and say, Hi, I'm here today. Enjoy your day and be yourself. That's what authentic mean. That's what confidence mean. That's how I see the world in, because I was once have someone said to me, is like, oh, I'm worried that you are not confident enough, and because I'm very beautiful and I don't need someone around me that who thinks that like, my beauty is going to be a chore. I'm like, okay, have you ever seen someone that go onto Facebook Live without any makeup on, didn't brush their hair in their pajamas? I was wearing a unicorn pajama by like just to let everyone know. So if I was doing that on Facebook Live, doing dances, why did I do it? I do it for the people who are in COVID. I
Yes.
do it for the people who are in lockdown. I'm size 16, so I got cinnamon rolls, okay? And I don't care that I'm in a unicorn uniform, that I was dancing, and I don't care. So that's the confidence. That's what I mean by authentic. And it's like, why are you showing the worst side of you? That's what my ex-husband used to tell me. Why are you showing the worst side of you? And I was tame on it. And I'm Asian, so Asian culture. You're supposed to be a daughter, a sister, a wife that just shut up. Don't grow too loud. Don't shine too much. Don't be the lead. And
Mhm.
that's all the label that I've been told all my life. But I'm like, no, I wanted to be myself. I don't know how good I am. I don't know how happy I am. I don't know what energy I'm vibrating. All I know is I'm contained. I'm happy. So I'm showing you me. I'm showing everyone me. And we all have that power within. People are very conscious about what they're doing because they worry other people judge them.
Mhm.
So a wise woman once told me, the young people always worry about how they look and things like that. But an old person will say, you know what? I don't give a F anymore because my life is a lot more important than other people's judgment.
Mhm. Mhm.
Ask yourself, what is more important, your happiness or their judgment?
Right, right,
I choose me. I
right.
choose me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it took us
I
walking
choose
through it.
me.
Yes. And
It's not about being selfish too. That's the
no.
one thing. As women, we constantly think that, oh, am I being selfish? That I'm loyal about me. I said no, because I was an advocate like before when they actually like in the airplane, they said that, oh, you must put your other people's mask, like your mask first before you put it on someone else. And I'm like, that's my baby over there. What are you talking about? I can't put the mask on him first. Like, I must protect him first. That was all I was thinking. I didn't know that I need to make sure my cup is filled first before I can give it to someone else. And I feel guilty for not saving the other person first because that's how we were taught. My
Mhm.
parents is a like my mom is a loving parent, so I always taught that I need to look after people first. I didn't know I need to be the first one that need to be fulfilled. It. That's the difference that I've realized now that I need to fulfill myself. I need to put the mask on first so I can put the mask for the other people. Because if I put the mask for them first, I passed out, I gone, they're gonna suffer all their life.
Yeah.
So why do I want to put that pressure on them? No, look after myself and then look after him. It only takes 2 seconds for you to put that mask on for yourself. Believe it, that 2 seconds is okay. You can catch it up back. When you believe it, it will happen. All those what if is we create in our head. It hasn't happened yet. So why don't we, what if that everything will become better? The next thing is that, we're out of the turbulence.
Mhm.
That could be a what if too. It's a choice that we have. Why are we not controlling what we're thinking? Do it. You're allowed to.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, I love you. That's what it means to be bold, fierce, unstoppable, to be authentically you, to be as loud and colorful as you want, and to continue going into the world and expressing the love and the gratitude that you have within yourself first and foremost, and then passing it on to someone else. So we're coming near
Mm,
the end of our show, Marcia, and I have a few questions that I'd like to ask you.
sure.
What would you tell your younger self today?
That you are read and you are amazing. Your weakness is your read, like you really read. But guess what? It is your uniqueness and you are proud of it.
Yeah, you are powerful. Absolutely. Only if we told ourselves that when we were younger, right? You were powerful.
Exactly.
You're powerful. I love that. I love that. What would you tell your future self today?
I am grateful that I have the experience to learn from all the mistakes that I have made. I'm grateful and thank you for the universe for giving me the opportunity to learn.
Mm, learning is really key, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, never giving up on yourself. And for every person that's going through a difficult time in their life right now, just because I know that you guys are in lockdown in Australia, we're having our own issues here in Canada. I'm sure the world has other stuff going on with them and their governments, the control agent. So what would you tell to every person out there that's having a difficult time right now?
You don't need to be perfect to be confident.
Mm,
Nothing is perfect in life. And we can be settled for second best. I know that people say, like, you should never settle for second best. But when things is out of your control, then control what you can control. You can't control the pandemic, the virus, you can't even see it in your eyes. So you can't do that. So what can you control? You can control your mindset. You can control what you can do. So if you said that you are building up more, well, great. There's a lot of online program that you sign, start doing the exercise. You're allowed to still go outside and do some kind of exercise. Then that's your choice. Remember, no matter what situation we're in, we have a choice. Do we give the power to the people that who hurt us, who the things that who we cannot control, and we blame ourselves for it and feel bad about it? Or we take the control back and say, I'm going to make the best of what I have. Yes, I only have flowers and water at home. I don't have anything else. It's okay. Let's make bread. Let's make like a soup or something. Doesn't matter. We can make anything as long as we're willing to try. And give yourself that permission to fail, because failure is not a problem, it's a learning.
Mhm.
Without those mistakes that you make, you will never learn to do what you don't do.
Mhm.
So now at least that you learn something that you will never do again. Or and a lot of people get scared about, oh, what happened if I make that mistake? I get hurt again. Last time was so traumatic. I don't want to go through that again. Especially I hear that a lot with people who have been sexually abused like me. They're worried about going into a relationship, finding their happiness. What happened if I get hurt again? That what happened is controlled by you. When you see the red thread, run, cut it, stop about all those connection bullshit talk, okay? Don't worry about those things. It's more about that you see the warning sign, then go and follow your heart.
Yeah.
Follow your heart to get out. And even that is you didn't do it. And if you fall, this is human nature. The
Mhm.
first time you fall, you hit yourself onto the face and you have blood, everything coming out, lose the two teeth. But what happens is when the next time you have the same issue, you will learn to turn and protect yourself. So you won't get as hurt and painful as the first time it happened. Always remember, all those failures you do is just going to make you stronger. All those things that you experience that you think is not fair is only going to help you to become stronger. So you don't need to be perfect to be confident. Give yourself that permission to make mistake, to be you, to allow your voice to come out because you deserve it and you are worthy.
Can I get another amen, ladies and gentlemen? Can I get another amen? That was just so beautiful. And you make me laugh just the way you say things. That's why I'm chuckling over here, because I just love your accent first and foremost. I love the way you express yourself. I love the way you put things together. Martha, so much. Thank you so much for being on the show. This has been
Thank
such a
you.
pleasure to have you, and just to listen to you and your journey and everything you've gone through. Definitely a light that the world needs. So thank you for stepping into your authentic self and really being into your sovereignty to the world. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Such an honor. Thank you everyone for listening. If you'd like to get a hold of Martha through her socials, everything is in the show notes below. Also like us in the Facebook group. It's our private Facebook group, the Empress Club, or the Empress Hangout, I should say. And like us on Instagram. Also, don't forget to leave us a comment below and give us a 5-star review on iTunes, because this interview was one of the greatest interviews, with laughter, with wisdom, with awareness, and with being authentically who you are. Until we connect again, have yourself a great day. Bye for now.